Hello, Eurovision fam. It's Alesia Michelle. Thank you so much. I'm a little bit late. Apologies for that. I had to collect myself after those interesting results for Melodifestivalen semifinal 4. Let me just hop. I'm going to kick this off by hopping in the comments first. Of course, I've got my notepad. I took a ton of notes while I was watching, and I'm just going to start off by saying, I did think that Hanna and Victor were going to go direct to the final, but everything else was sort of a bit of a surprise to me. I don't know if I'm alone in that. But yeah, let me hop into the comments before we get started. Thank you so much for waiting, and thank you so much for joining this conversation. Okay, so let me go down. So Michael Steele says this semi was trash. Narek says, I hope daughter wins. Tito Chico says Frida was not that good. Annie B, daughter all the way, but I hope Anna. Vincent, troubled water is actually so good. ESC Nerd says this semi was good. Lauren Bean says, I do like daughter. Close second to Anna. And then Poru Pablo says, I really like Brave, but it's definitely not a winner for me. Ambiguous Tim says, yeah. Alcohol says, what a shit show tonight was. Let's be real. Bernie says, the mama should win, ... or Anna. And Mario says, let's be honest, Brave and Troubled Waters were the best songs tonight. I just wish Hanna would flip her hair less. I also wish Crone could dance. His moves are at the moment so off-putting. Okay. So let me just start. Wait, I have a comment here. Adam, so who is your winner now that you've heard all the songs? I think that Anna, daughter, and the mamas are really they're all kind of different in their own ways, but I think that those songs will perform really well at Eurovision. I think in their own different ways, each would have its own strengths and have the opportunity to shine at Eurovision. So, yeah. So I guess we see, I guess the duels are already set. So let me pull this up really quickly so then we can get to talking about that. Okay, so let me just kick off. We're like almost 3 minutes in. So I'm just going to run down quickly and give my thoughts on each performance that I kind of had as we went on. And then we'll get talking about the actual results. So we kicked off the show with Frida, We Are One. I'm not going to lie. I thought that the styling was all wrong, even though I thought her makeup was really good. I don't think the staging was right, but I really do like this song. I really enjoy this song. I really do like it. And I think, they just need to give her a new outfit because this outfit is not the one. I also felt like the tinsel curtain, although I appreciated the fact that the tinsel curtain kind of brought a lightness to stage because a lot of these performances have been really, really dark. I appreciated that the tinsel curtain brought some light, but it did also feel a little bit cheap. So I wish we would have lifted that up a little bit. So William, honestly, the track is like super derivative, but I did like it. But I think I liked it because this is just kind of the music that I like and / I think it's very derivative to like 90s like R&B. Well, and not 90s R&B. Sorry, like 90s pop R&B. So like if you had NSYNC trying to do kind of like a pop, an R&B track, they couldn't really do like actual R&B, so this was kind of like a happy medium, and I was sort of into the song. I really liked his styling, and I thought his staging was good, and he's very good looking, but he is 22 years old, so he is far too young for me. Nana, Carpool Karaoke, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the styling was good. I thought the staging was good. I do think that they needed to get the car from Duvet Do. They really needed to find that car back, and I did think that the performance was just joyful. I will say, though, when I heard the snippet and saw the rehearsal, this was like the one song that I kind of was like, oh, is it still going on? And mind you, those were like clips. So it did feel like, and when I was listening to it, but seeing it on stage, it was high impact. It was high energy. I enjoyed myself while watching it. let's move on to Victor Crone, Troubled Water. You know, this song is very derivative. It's another one of those derivative tracks that we had. You know, I'm just going to say, because I said this in my preview, a lot of the songs in this semi were super derivative. There wasn't a lot of originality that I heard sonically during this semi, if I'm being honest. A lot of the tracks sounded like something else. So yeah, with Victor Crone, you know, this was very straightforward, like Mumford and Sons, but I liked the song, and I think the staging was cool. You know, the backing vocalists were doing a lot of work. They were doing a lot of work, but you know what? That's what they're there for, is to work. So that was happening. You know, he looked good, but I will say, you know, someone commented before he needs to work out his dance moves. I mean, poor boy was just so offbeat. He couldn't catch the beat for his life. And I always find it really funny when you see people, it's like, you know the song more than we do, and you can't find the beat. It's a problem. It is a problem. Okay, let's move on to our next derivative entry that was able to make it to Andra Chansen, and that's Ellen and Simon's Surface. Let me start with the positives. I mean, look, the harmonies were beautiful. They sounded good. For the most part, they sounded good. I thought the staging was good, but I did feel like it was still too many like wide shots. Just keep it intimate. Keep it to the focus. We don't need the wide shots. It doesn't even really make sense to have them there. And so I would keep it tight. I did not like Ellen's look at all. I don't know what that styling was. I was not a fan. And honestly, Ellen sounded good. Simon, I don't know if I'm convinced about his vocal. His vocal was not really hitting it the whole time, but at least, you know, he could stay on the pitch and key when it mattered for the harmonies. So yeah, that's Surface. I mean Shallow. I mean Surface. I mean Shallow. You know which one? You know, you can interchange it out. So then we're gonna move on to Jakob. You know, in Swedish, the staging was great. I liked the little meaningful movement with him and the guitar. He probably could have smiled more. That was my one note for him, was we needed to see him smile more. But I am upset. I'm just gonna say it right now. I am upset. This song should have been in Andra Chansen, or I mean, I didn't think it was gonna go direct to final, but it should have been in Andra Chansen. How this song didn't advance, I really don't understand, because it was definitely one of the best tracks. Somebody said Surface wasn't building enough. D-Win says Surface was a snooze. Axel says Surface was a mess. I wouldn't say it was a mess, but I mean, we just didn't need all of the wide shot camera angles. I didn't like Ellen's staging, and Simon needs to clean up his solo vocalist parts. That's it. Yeah. So someone said key, and I just I really didn't hear that. I thought that this was actually one of the best performances of the evening. So the fact that it just like straight up did not go forward, I really don't understand that at all, but whatever. So then last we have Hanna with Brave. You know, I asked someone, because somebody on Twitter had Brave as their #1 performance from the evening. And so I was like, oh, okay. So why so high? So this is Melodifestivalen in space. So I was like, yeah, why Hanna so high? I'm curious. The song, the vocal, could you expand? So the reply was, and this is not me talking, this is the reply on Twitter. The song, I thought vocally she was better with Hold You, although there was a lot of movement involved in her Brave performance, which I like. And then they asked me if I was a fan. So I basically was like, okay, you didn't really answer my question. So for those of you who really, really liked Hanna's performance, can you please drop down in the comments right now and explain in detail why you really liked her performance? Because I truly am curious. So my reply to this person was, so you have her #1 because you really think the song is good, but you recognize that her vocal was better with Hold You? And I was like, I'm just curious as to why it's so high in comparison to the other performances. So then the reply that I got was, I was hoping Hanna would do well tonight after seeing her interviews pre-show. She came across as really humble and just seemed to be enjoying the whole process. Brave is one of my favorites from Melfest this year, up there with Bulletproof and maybe Kingdom Come. So then, of course, I had to reply. And so my reply was like, okay, I'm just seeking some concrete reasons as opposed to her just interviews, because I feel like all of them are lovely people and all of them have some level of humility. I was like, so beyond just it being her, what about this song, staging, vocal performance makes it superior to the others? That's all. And I have not received a reply. And the reason why I haven't received a reply is because I don't think that there's actually an answer. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think that there's actually a real reason other than the fact that people just wanted Hanna to advance. But let me see if any of y'all in the comments could tell me why. Okay, I'm waiting. So Splitting Health, yeah, you're not giving me one. So Neil Era says, I like Hanna because it was all about herself, no distracting or cheap effects. Okay, I don't think we were watching the same performance though, because there were plenty of performers on stage that were having performances that were about themselves, i.e. Frida. I would argue that I don't think William was really doing any cheap effects to try and get that. And Ellen and Simon, you know, the performance was very much so about them. There were no cheap effects with that one. So again, I'm curious. Jacob Eurovision Greece says she is sexy, but that's all. Okay, well, I don't think that that's enough for her to be direct to the final. Okay. I'm waiting to find some. Yeah, I'm waiting to find some reasons why Hanna's performance was so good. Okay, so all right. Okay, so Dennis says she delivered a lot of confidence and her performance was sleek, but the song overall, though, I'm not a fan and I didn't vote for her. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna have a conversation. First of all, I just want to say kudos to Laurel because I just love to see Laurel winning. In theory, I really like Laurel Barker. So, I mean, in theory, tonight was a very good night for her because Surface made it. Start off with the vocal. So the vocal was not good. The vocal was not what it needed to be. If you're going to do a lot of this movement, you really need to practice with a microphone because there were times where we literally lost what she was kind of saying because she wasn't keeping the mic here. And I mean, they have handheld mics, so if she needed a handheld mic, they should have just given it to her. I will say, in watching the performance, I think her vocals suffered because she was not able to really keep the mic focused here. So hold on. ESC Sebi says, fun fact, Ballerina and Take a Chance were actually written for Hanna in the beginning, but then later on she chose Brave because she thought that was more her. Well, I'm not going to lie. I said this on Twitter. I actually think that Malu, like we needed to take down Brave an octave and give it to Malu because I think Malu would have delivered it with the staging that I think this song kind of needs, which is cuter, which is more like young girl, I'm here doing it, as opposed to like I'm sexy whipping my hair around and stuff. Like I just don't even think that fits the song personally, but let's move on. Yeah, the vocal was not what it needed to be. She needs to learn to hold the mic so that she is able to deliver the song fully. The diction was off. I mean, there were legitimate times where I did not know what she was saying. I just didn't know what she was talking about because I didn't understand what she was saying because the diction was off. Yeah, so let's talk about the song itself. In the intro, they said something about Sia and Billie Eilish. I didn't hear any Sia and I did not hear any Billie Eilish in the song that I was being served. I don't know about you. I did not get it. The song, the only reference that I could kind of give to it was I did feel like it was kind of like pop star Taylor Swift, not country Taylor, but pop star Tay-Tay. That I definitely was getting was a little bit of Taylor Swift in the vocal. Let's talk about the staging. I was not a fan of this staging. I really felt like maybe if they had like Ace Wilder doing the staging, like how Ace Wilder did the staging with Malu last year. Like that was cute. Like that to me was actually kind of the vibe like I'm getting from the song. Like it just seems like a young, fresh, young girl song. And if we dropped it down an octave and gave it to Malu, I think with like Ace Wilder staging, I think I actually would like it more. It would make more sense. But right now with Hanna kind of selling it as this like sexy, sultry song, like I don't really feel like it's a sexy, sultry song, but that's just me. So yeah, I'm not really with the staging and the styling. She is really cute, but like I was not a fan of that dress. And I don't think that that dress was really flattering to her body at all. Like I just feel like if we got another dress, another gown somewhere, we should find it and then put it on her body. So yeah, and ESC Ariel says also they need to get the hair out of her face. Yeah, the hair was not even really styled the way that the hair needed to be styled. Like, because it was in her face and it was a little bit like it was in her face, you know. So if you're singing, like that can be a lot. So yeah, I just, you know, with Hanna, I knew it was going to go direct to the final, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really into this performance. I don't even really think I'm into this song. You know, but it really doesn't matter because I think we got some good ones to really be focusing on and caring about. So I'm just gonna take a little moment, I guess, to rant. Okay. I feel some type of way about the fact that Jacob did not advance. Period. Period, period, period. Jacob was robbed. He was robbed. I feel some type of way about the fact that that song did not advance, period. Like it makes no sense to me. It was arguably one of the best studio tracks that we had. The staging was good. Like to me, there was no reason for that to advance and for us to have some of these really, really derivative tracks advancing. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. And I just thought that Jacob at least deserved Andra Chansen. And it seems like y'all agree with me on that. Hey, Luca. Axel says, I thought Jacob was Andra Chansen material. ESC Topless says, how in the hell did Frida advance? Well, I will tell you, Frida advanced because the song is good. The song is good. You know, like I said, I'm not a fan of the styling. I'm not a fan of the staging, but the song is good. So I do like that song. But again, I felt like if I had to trade her, so I could have had Jacob and Andra Chansen, I would have been fine with that trade. Like just real talk. And what is this about? Like, so Nil Era says Sweden hates Swedish. I mean, it was such a great song and it was in Swedish. This was an opportunity to send something. I mean, like, come on. Yeah, we are one. Okay, Superfy says, I'm so sick of seasoned performers being so mistreated. They aren't given competitive songs and are more often than not seen as novelty acts. I don't want Melfest to become a contest just for the young. I agree with that because, but I will say, like, I understand why Nanne didn't advance, but I did think that she would because there was something about the performance that was just fun. So yeah. Okay, let me look at these Andra Chansen duels because this is what I really need to be looking at. This is what I need to be looking at because this is what we need. This is what we need to be talking about. So, and I know y'all could probably put them in the comments, but I need to see it, I think, holistically. I'm like, I need to see it holistically to really see it. All right, here we go. Okay. So we have Malu going against Paul Ray. What? Why? What? Okay, I would not have put Paul Ray against Malu Preetz. And I low-key feel like it's sabotage. And I feel like the person who loses out is potentially Malu. But her staging is pretty dope. So I don't know. They have Anise Dawn Demina going against Ellen and Simon. So they basically don't want surface, surface to advance because Anise Don Demina is about to stomp on Ellen and Simon. So Felix is going to be in the final because Felix is going against Frida. I don't know why that's happening either. That seems weird. But Felix Salmon will be in the final. And then they have Mendez versus Drangarna. I think Mendez will have the edge over that one. Paul Ray and Malu, that's the only one I'm kind of on the fence about because I just wouldn't have had them go against each other. Like, why couldn't we at least have had, like, I don't know. I low-key would have put Anise Don Demina against Mendez. If we're talking like closer to genres or something, like where it almost makes sense, where it's sort of like, it's more of an apples to apples thing. I mean, because Felix versus Frida, that's not even apples to apples. I mean, that like those are totally different. And even Mendez and Drangarna, I mean, that's totally different. And definitely Anise Don Demina and Ellen and Simon. So, I mean, clearly they want Anise Don Demina to advance. They want Felix to advance, and he will. And then Mendez is going to advance, I think, over Drangarna. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. So Mr. Z says Bjorkman is smoking something. Neil Era says Felix has a catwalk. ESC Topless says thank the Lord Frida is out. Equinox says this is the worst Andra Chansen I have ever seen. Luke Smith says, yep, Malu versus Paul is definitely the most up in the air duel. I agree. Like, that's the one that I'm more like, what is this? ESC Ariel says Shallow versus Can't Hold Us. Battle of I won't call them the ripoffs, but the highly derivative tracks. Neil Era says no, Drangarna will win. I don't know. I think, because the thing is, Drangarna's song is good, but there's something still contained about it. It's not a full party. Mendez is having more of a party, I think. And so I feel like that maybe gives Mendez the edge. Honestly, I don't really care either way. I think the only one that I'm most concerned about really is Paul Ray and Malu Preetz. That's the one I'm probably the most concerned about of these matchups, without a doubt. Oh, wait, hold on. So Copyright Breaker says if Felix wins Melodifestivalen, Sweden should get kicked out in the semis. Well, apparently Boys with Emotions is not really doing that well in Sweden right now. There's not a lot of buzz. Apparently it's not really playing that well on Spotify. So maybe Felix isn't in play. And honestly, I thought that Felix would be in play, but perhaps no. Annie B says Paul Ray got to go. I mean, low key, in comparison to Malu, if she delivers that performance with a strong vocal, I do believe that she has the edge over Paul Ray. Because I'm not going to lie, that Molnljus, Paul Ray should have had that song. Point blank. Paul Ray should have had that track. If Paul Ray had that track, he might have found himself in the grand final. Low key, quiet as it's kept. Don't nobody want to talk about that. William was not really, I think, the vocalist to be doing that song. Not that he did a bad job, but I think that with that song and Paul Ray, because Paul Ray needed something, I think, really more soulful. And what we ended up getting wasn't really that soulful. Okay. Yeah, Michaela says, okay, but who are you rooting for, Malu or Paul? I mean, I'm rooting more so for Malu. I mean, honestly, because if I'm really talking about the two of them, I was let down by Paul's song. Whereas like Ballerina, I like when I'm alone. Yeah, with the alone. It's like she moves her hand up and then like does something. I like that. I'm pulling for Malu out of the two of them. I prefer her track more than Paul Ray's, honestly. Because low key, if Paul Ray had yeah, if he had that one, that would have been a little bit tougher for me. Because I did like that song, even though that song was derivative too. Who else? William, so Equinox says William should have advanced over Frida. I don't know about that. Frida's song was better. Yeah. Clap your hands, stomp your feet, come around, feel the heat. Yeah. Okay. So wait, Annie B, come on, Alesia. Who do you want to win the whole thing? Oh, the whole thing? No, I don't. I really honestly, I don't. I will be happy if it's like, I will be happy if it's daughter, Anna. I would honestly be happy if it was the mamas too, to be honest. Even though I will say the mamas aren't as high up for me because of the song. I like their performance. I like the way that they are delivering it. But the song, could be better. It could be deeper. Everybody wanna move like us. It's just real simple. Everybody wanna move like us, but they serving it. So I appreciate that I'm being served the song with quality and on the pitch and key. So Lauren Bean says you must have a favorite. I really, really don't. I'm kind of between Anna, because Anna and Daughter's songs are both like two completely different genres. What they're doing on stage is totally different. And I do kind of feel like, even though we Eurovision fans, I think, are favoring Daughter, and I will say I am more likely to listen to Bulletproof in my car, I ultimately feel like if Sweden wants a higher placing, I kind of feel like Anna would actually give a higher placing at Eurovision overall, because, and I've talked about this in my review of Kingdom Come, it is something about that song that is just sonically, and here's the thing, we have to remember that Daughter is going to be going up against Roxanne, who I did my reaction to Roxanne's songs for Romania with Eurovision Hub. I recorded that this morning. Oh my gosh, like Daughter's going to be going up against that. She's also going to be going up against Victoria from Bulgaria. There's going to be a lot of, I think, good female vocalists who aren't necessarily that like cookie cutter pop star. So if I'm thinking who has the potential to stand out and make an impact in a way where it's like super memorable, I mean, it's Anna. I mean, Kingdom Come. I don't think anyone is going to do anything like Kingdom Come. I just don't. I don't think anyone's going to do, I mean, from the stage show to the song, there is something about Anna that I think, and that performance and package that I think in this year's competition at Eurovision will give her maybe the edge. And I'm not going to lie, I actually thought that Anna won the semi, but I don't know, but Daughter is like number one in the odds right now. So, I mean, what would you say? So Mr. Z says, am I the only one who prefers Kingdom Come over Ashes to Ashes? Honestly, Kingdom Come has grown on me. And I prefer this. I prefer the full package of Kingdom Come to the full package that Ashes to Ashes was serving. ESC Topless says Cherry Red needs to win in Romania. Yes. Nil Era, any country could send Bulletproof. Kingdom Come, it's from Sweden. I don't know if I completely agree with that, because I do think there's something about that Nordic pop sound. Like, what is it? Like I said that Bulletproof sort of sounded like it could have been on Sigrid's album. And isn't Sigrid Danish? So I don't know. I think that there's something about Bulletproof that is very Swedish in a way, personally. So Alwi 4780 says the thing with Kingdom Come is that some dancers would be sacked in order to have backing vocals. Yeah, she'll have 4. She will have 4 dancers on stage, and then she'll have a backing vocalist. That's fine. ESC Ariel says Anna has the narrative. I agree. I think that's the other thing that Anna Bergendahl has, is that narrative. I mean, I work in communications. And so my communications hat actually is like, if I'm selling like a press release, like that is the story I want to tell, is this young girl went to Eurovision, years ago, had to deal with all of this flack because she's like the person who didn't qualify, and now she's back at Eurovision kind of for revenge. I do think that there's something about that story that is really triumphant. And I think it also kind of ties into the song that she's actually serving. So Poor Pablo says, I don't think Kingdom Come will appeal to juries at all. One, I kind of disagree because I think juries favor Sweden no matter what they send. So I wouldn't even be worried about that. And also, I think the issue that a lot of people and a lot of Eurovision fans have with Sweden is this constant baiting at the jury and then kind of forgetting, like, we at home still want to see a show and see some shit that's joyful. You know what I mean? And there's just something about Kingdom Come that I just think I give a slight edge, even though I'm like, Bulletproof, I mean, is a song I would listen to in my car more. So Equinox, if Sweden go the typical pop route, they will choose Robin or the Mamas. Well, no, but Daughter's still in there because, I mean, Bulletproof is a pop track and it does sound like what I've just described. Honestly, I do like Robin's song. I'm excited because now I get to listen to it more. If you take a chance on me, hey, we can, yeah. That song has been stuck in my head since week 1. Hi, Art Boy, I see your comments. So Poor Pablo says Anna Bergendahl didn't qualify because of the juries back in 2010, though. Okay, it's 2020, and what she is serving is very different to, and this is my life, my friend. This is very different. I mean, Kingdom Come is, I mean, it is stirring. Lauren Bean says, no, not Robin. Too simple and nursery rhyme. Like, I like the song. I'm not saying that he should win. I'm just saying I like it. I like it. And low-key, I think a lot of Eurovision fans might be surprised at how well it ultimately does. I mean, we saw the results of this final. I mean, come on. ESC Jip, nobody. Alesia, I would listen to this song in my car. Well, you know, some songs I listen to and some songs I would not. Olivia MacArthur, do you think that Sweden may retreat back to the familiar and choose an upbeat male pop entry such as Robin, Felix, or Victor? Look, anything is possible, and I have said this even in my review of Daughter and Anna. I am still not convinced that Sweden will not send a good-looking young guy singing a well-produced pop track. I'm not convinced that that is an impossibility. Even with the strong songs that we have from all of these female artists, I am not convinced that that won't happen. Now, given the intel we've heard on the ground in Sweden, maybe that person is not going to be Felix because apparently the Boys with Emotions isn't doing that well. But I mean, maybe it's Victor. And I mean, let's not forget, again, Robin went direct to the final, would take a chance. And I've been telling people the shit is just catchy. It's just catchy. Yeah. So Art Boy says, what's your favorite Swedish entry ever besides Euphoria? This is easy. Everyone knows it. Roger Ponter. without question. Yeah, I mean, even that song, I mean, it just is so stirring. I mean, and I want Sweden to kind of send something like that again, even though I know he's like a male performer. And I do think Sweden needs to cleanse its palate a little bit and send a female performer. I love Roger Ponter. Doop, doop, doop. Yep. Without a doubt, that is tops. And I guess I will say honorable mention, Undo. I really, really like that song. I just listened to that like 2 days ago. Like I really, really like Undo. It's something about that song. Boom. That just really, really hits for me. Oh, Adrian Fung says, like, I love Daughter, but I just don't get the Euro fans screaming about a young male singing a pop-produced song. It just switched to a female doing the same thing. I guess I could understand that critique that it's kind of like if Daughter does it, then it's like, oh, we're kind of doing the same thing. So I guess I could see it's like they're really not doing anything that different. They've just kind of swapped in, female performer. Because I guess the other thing too about Daughter's performance that I do think could hurt her at Eurovision potentially is just kind of that sentiment that folks I think had with Benjamin Ingrosso's song, where it was just like the staging was just so much that people felt like it was contrived. And I just don't get that same feeling, but I understand why other people might have that perception. I definitely understand that. Okay. Upfront Bear 74 says, what's your biggest travesty in Melfest? Easy. Statements. I will never understand why Statements didn't go to the final, period. And I've had people explain it to me and everything, but like, I don't care. The song was quality. It should have advanced. Like, you can explain it to me till you're blue in the face. I'm still gonna feel what I feel. Okay. Simon S says, what do you think about Mariette? Well, actually, my review of Mariette's song is going to be dropping very soon. I recorded that this morning. I really like what Mariette is serving this year. I don't think it's going to win, but I don't think this is anything that her or her team should feel bad about per se. I think it's a really good entry. I really, really do. Callie Stir is asking them, what are people's explanations for Statements? Like, it doesn't matter because it's all bullshit. Like, for real, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. I cannot listen. I will not listen. And then the fact that in Andra Chansen it lost to what? Anton Hogman's song? Nope. Ollie says Loreen will be performing in Andra Chansen. Will she? Philip says, why do you hate Hanna Ferm song? Well, if you tuned into the stream earlier, I didn't say that I hated the song because I wouldn't say that I hate it. But do I think that this song is a song that should represent Sweden at Eurovision? Absolutely not. Do I think that Hanna's song should win Melodifestivalen? Absolutely not. Do I think that this song would do well for Sweden at Eurovision? Absolutely not. Do I feel like this deserved to go direct to final? I knew it was going to go direct to the final, so I just was kind of like, I was expecting it to happen, so it doesn't really matter. Lauren Bean, do you see Loreen making a comeback back in the coming years? Would love to see her on Eurovision stage again. I mean, to be honest, no, I don't. M. Montengor says, I don't think Hanna has a very big chance to win. I think Anna and Daughter have more momentum. I think Hanna had, I mean, to be blunt, honestly, with all of the and this is why hype is such a dangerous thing. If there was not so much hype around Hanna's song, maybe I wouldn't have felt so. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I actually think that Nobody was a better song than Brave. I mean, and the performance that Clara gave, I actually think was better than what I saw tonight with Brave. And that's kind of crazy. I mean, like, I understand how crazy that might sound, but I dance with myself. I don't need nobody. No. And I understood every word that Clara said. She delivered it vocally flawlessly. There was not a bum note in sight. And she had choreography and dancers and everything on the stage. And again, even though I didn't think that Nobody was such a great song, so I wasn't surprised to see it not advance. Like, I wasn't, especially in that moment when it was between her and Daughter. I was just like, absolutely not. Like, Bulletproof has to advance. But I mean, if I saw Brave next to Nobody, I'm going with the Nobody performance. That was better. So Annie B says, let's be honest, I don't think any of these songs, unfortunately, will win ESC. So let's make Anna's dream come true and get her on that Eurovision final stage. Our boy says, what's your favorite Eurovision song of Mariette? Don't Stop Believing. Alcohol says the results of this semi have me low-key scared about how Sweden will vote in the final. I mean, we should be concerned. We should be concerned because the voting today was concerning. But at least for the final, we will have the international jury that kind of, but I think with the international jury, we can kind of predict where they'll go because I think the international jury will really favor the mamas. I do think there will be some appreciation for Anna. Not a lot, but I think she'll get some love. And I think Daughter is going to get some love from the international jury. So she's definitely not out of there. I don't know about international juries and Brave though. I don't know. Pora Pablo says Semi 2 was way stronger. I agree. Semi 2 was a very strong semi. I've said that. I've said this from jump in all the live streams that I've done. I mean, like after listening to the snippets, I was kind of like, oh, like any of these songs could go. And then watching semifinal 2, it was like any of these songs really could advance. And they were all good, to be honest. Like I could see the merit in all of those performances and all of those songs. So D-Win says, Alesia, sis, you are a ray of sunshine. Thank you. Axel Sand, I hope Anna gets enough votes from the public to push through for a win. I like Anna. Anna and Daughter really are at the top of my list. And again, I like how the mamas are serving it. So I just feel like they're in the mix. And I also think the international, like the mamas could legitimately win the international jury. Like, let's be real. Let's be honest. The mamas could legitimately win the international jury. So like they could come first in the jury, but like third in televote and then win. Like, do y'all realize like we have to do math? Like it is possible that that's how things could go. So I will say I am excited. I think this year at Melodifestivalen, and some people thought that it was weak. I don't think that this was a weak year. I also think the fact that there is some uncertainty about who the winner will be is great. I mean, this is what we want. Melodifestivalen is super competitive. And so I'm excited to be in Stockholm, Sweden to see the grand final live. I'm really, really excited. I love Stockholm. It's a great city. I just want to take a moment while I have a whole bunch of folks on here just to say thank you. I appreciate I like all of this. I appreciate every comment. I appreciate every view. I appreciate every like, every subscribe. Just point blank. I started this channel because I wanted to talk to people. Just point blank. I wanted to talk to y'all, and I can't sit and talk to myself, or I could if I was like a little bit crazy, but that's okay. So I really do appreciate this, and I say that, I try to take a moment to say that in all of my lives. But I really do appreciate y'all. So yeah, let me hop back in these comments, and then I'm going to sign off soon because I don't necessarily want to have this go on forever and ever and ever. Oh, Lottie K Official. So Lottie K Official says, Brave is so good. Please hop in these comments and detail why it's so good. It can't just be, oh, I liked her outfit. And it can't just be, oh, because the song is cute. I want details, like for real. I really am curious about why. And I think a lot of us in these comments, even Osa S says, I don't get the hype around Brave. We want to know, I can disagree. But I'm curious. I really want to know where people are coming from that they like it. Alweave 4780 says, I think Robin is a dark horse because of the juries. I actually tend to agree with that. That's why I've personally not really been counting out Robin, because the song, I mean, that song is just so damn catchy. I'm telling y'all, the song is just catchy. It really, really is. I cannot believe it. I'm getting all these. Okay. I'm getting all these phone calls. Okay. Jace Book says, do you think the juries might all vote for one song like last year, or do you think they might vote across the board? I think the juries are going to be a little bit split this year. But I do think the mamas I think going into it, I really do think the mamas have the edge. And I think a close second is, maybe. The crazy thing is Anna and Daughter could like split the vote too, of like that faction. And then that allows people who maybe want to favor a male artist, because let's be real, Victor's going to get some jury points. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Victor's going to get some jury points. Yeah. ESC Jib says, I truly think Bulletproof could win Eurovision. Same with Anna, but the rest I don't think stand a chance. The mamas won't get telepoints, I'm afraid. I got to disagree with you. We got so many, I said this earlier, we have so many young female artistic performers that will be serving some songs with depth this year. I think, and I don't know if Bulletproof is going to be the song that's able to rise above the rest, but at the same time, it ends up being like you got that class of girls, just like, you know, some years it's like we have the good looking guys singing pop songs all together, where it just ends up being like, we need the act that's going to be the unique one, the one that's really going to stand out. And again, I think Anna has the edge personally. Don says, I don't think we can count out Felix either when it comes to jury points. You might be right. Yeezus says, girls, Victor's vocals are hella messy, but look at how many points Victor got last year. I mean, literally last year. And some of these juries are made up of the same people. So we got to be real. I mean, Victor's going to get some points. I'm not saying a lot. And I don't think that Victor's going to win Melodifestivalen. I really don't. But Mitchell Van Elk says, sending another gospelish song after Jan Lundvik is a no. But guess what? They sent Jan Lundvik after Caesar won the jury the year before. So, I mean, you know, and there are a lot of similarities between, even though Caesar's song I do think was better than Too Late for Love, without a doubt. Yeah, Caesar's song was definitely, it wouldn't be right letting you go, running away from love, ain't nobody but you. Hey, yeah, no. That one was definitely better than Too Late for Love, without a doubt. So thinking like, oh, well, we shouldn't do this. Like, I mean, literally, I mean, Sweden took a page out of Caesar Sampson's book and was like, oh, yeah, okay, Jan Lundvik, you do it with the mamas. Okay, well, I'm going to sign off, y'all, because I don't want this video to be for forever. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you had fun talking to me. And I hope you will join me again. Next week might be complicated. It just hit me that I might be at the airport watching Andra Chansen. So I don't know if I will be able to go live next week, but obviously after that, I will definitely be going live because I will actually be in Stockholm, Sweden. So I'll be interviewing some of your favorite Melodifestivalen performers. I will also be at the rehearsal, so I'll definitely be able to go live there and give you that real talk that I know you've been wanting, because we can't believe these people. And so thank you. Thank you so much for joining. Bye. Don't forget to like and to subscribe.